I am to report now. Oh, the time. It's about 15 after 11, 11:30. You know how I report things when I am able to. So I need to report now that while those four DCPD uniformed officers with like no gear, they had no flashlights. I should have checked to see like if those guns were props. Next time they come, I'm going to. I'm going to give them a good scan. I'm really, really wondering if those were actually cops. I mean, because they were acting, I had it on film. You can really tell by the hallway behavior that is not a trained officer. They could have got hurt by falling over cat food. They're so dumb. So I don't think they had real ammo and real guns on them. No, I needed to see. I should have checked to see if that, because you're not going to try to fall over cat food if you got a pistol on your hip, dude. Tasers and all that stuff. I didn't even look for that, dude. Next time they come and knock, they're supposed to come back. My green light guidance from Jesus is they're supposed to come back in about 3 days. They're not going to be with the Department of Mental Health. They're just going to be standing in my hallway again. And when I film on Instagram, the cars and squad cars then pull up because there was no cop cars. There was no ambulances. There was absolutely no city vehicles. Everybody just went tidal walking down the road and let themselves in with the key on the gate. And that female, she said she had been here 3 times already. So that was her 4th time. I have never seen her here checking on my mental health. It's been everybody else but her. And she's saying she's been here on her own recognizance 4 other times. Like, I'm not lying when I say all they do is come to this house to check on my mental health. You know how long they've been doing that to me here in this city? At least 3 years. Like, they can't ever stop coming. It's always check on my mental health. Like, now it's 2 times a week. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and film Washington DCPD, Washington Fire Department, and Washington Department of Mental Health. You go ahead and come back. I'm going to film. And when you come back, you can count on that. I will be filming you. I will Instagram live you. You want that? You got it. And I'm going to check your cowboys if those are real pistols. I'm not going to approach your cops. I know you're armed. I'm not trying to get myself tackled by police, but I have eyes and I'm going to look real good and see if those are real guns, because the way these cowboys were acting, who wants to fall over cat food with a pistol on their hip? That wasn't a cop. Someone gave him that uniform. That's a freaking militia guy. You need to check out that white guy. And he was hyped up. And then they kept throwing these cards. These little flimsy cards that were like copied at Kinko's. This house is so serious. I don't need to save the cards. I don't need to save the yellow stuff they stick on the door. When I say whirly birds fly over this house all the time and hover the roofs, do you think I need to do that? None of that kind of evidence is even what the good guys want me to do. I don't need to gather evidence in here, dude. Coming to my door making those kind of statements and doing that kind of stuff on film is all I need, all right? I didn't bring them. They brought themselves, okay? And they brought themselves in with that key. All right, so another thing, the reason why they're always asking, and it's on film, it happens every time someone comes here. They want to know what dates I'm leaving, because this terrorist cell goes to the federal law enforcement officers who are also involved with terrorism. They're involved with domestic terrorism. They're afraid of being arrested and charged for it. So they have a gang of lawyers and cops and city officials. They have Donald Trump. Donald Trump leaks. He was one of the people who was in office when this terrorist cell was initially established. I witnessed all this. They asked how long I've been here. They know all that. These perps who are at my door tonight know everything. But they want to know what I'm going to say when I say, oh, I'm leaving on the 1st, oh, I'm leaving on the 12th, because they're there to report that to the actual active and enrolled legitimate federal law enforcement who are to come and fake bust me, in quotes, for freaking terrorism. They're going to say, I'm the freaking terrorist here. This is how they're going to, I strongly allege this. This is how the dirty cops are going to avoid arrest. All right, because I witnessed everything in here, dude. So take note of that next time I film the cops at the door. They're all going to want to know, when are you leaving? When are you leaving? Or anybody else I film here or I report, they're going to want to know that. When are you leaving? Everybody who I didn't film because I could not film, I was not allowed to film anybody in here until those cops came to my door. I wasn't allowed. It's forbidden. I'm not allowed to film the cops. But let's stick to the point. Everybody asks me that because they're supposed to report it to like the DHS, and there's a lot of dirty cops in the FBI right now, and they're supposed to come and fake arrest me for some sort of fake fraudulent terrorist charge. Okay? Now, getting to the point of terrorism. Those 4 uniformed DCPD officers, as they were throwing cards through my window thing and tripping over cat food and shouting profanities in my hallway with no flashlights, that hallway, when I opened up my door, it was all on film. You can see when I did it, was out of a Richter scale of 1 through 5, a level 3 chemical stench. A level 3. I still have a migraine headache after going out of my room and going in the house. What have I always said? You go into contact with the chemicals in here and you can't shake your headache once you stand in the inferno of turpentine. You get this migraine headache that doesn't go away. It's really horrible. And then once I need to report this. I know it's after the fact, but I am to do it now. And then once I closed the gate, it's on film, and I turned the light off. I'm talking back to back, so it was like a matter of 1 minute. I went upstairs and I went to the bathroom, and then I washed my hands. I ran the water, and all the DBs, dead bodies, the stench just coming from the sink drain, man. It is so bad. By the time I was done with the water and flushing, I stood by my bathtub. I could still smell it just engulfing my bathroom. So there's cops in here in uniform. As far as I know, they actually work at a precinct, but I am very skeptical of that. And there's city department officials in here standing. Both of the Department of Mental Health were standing in the inferno of turpentine outside my bedroom door. I couldn't say anything on the first YouTube. I can now, about half an hour later. Now, as far as the chemical stenches, the dead bodies, any sort of crashing, any sort of incidences inside of this house, I can't talk about it anymore. When I put it in writing, I can't talk about it. There's a reason for that, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and film the city coming back to my door. I'm projecting it in about 3 days. And they're hoping I film, because when I film, then they can really bring some sort of cowboy crew with cars and big show of force for Donald Trump. I presume this is why they're doing it. So, all right, I'll see you guys then. Come back at midnight, 11, whenever you like. Let yourself in with that key. Come back and check on my mental health, okay? And make sure you bring your rancheros once I film you. All right, goodbye.